going to be the most epic Black Friday haul ever. Today I have a fall clothing haul for you guys. We'll be doing a thrift haul.
Hi, my name is Kassydi Rone, and I'm a recovering shopaholic, so let's do some fashion forensics. So obviously, as you can tell by the introduction, I was, and very much still am, a product of early influencer and shopping haul culture, and unfortunately, that formed some really bad shopping habits early on. From being the first fashion editor in our newsroom to creating content both personally and professionally for fashion brands, I understand my sphere of influence, and I've tried to adjust my shopping habits accordingly. So without further ado, let me give you an overview of all the clothes that I own before we get into some data. Starting off with this half of the barn doors, this is where I keep all of my business casual wear, all of my formal dresses, whether they're short or long, and a lot of outerwear. And then coming down here, everything is fall and winter oriented, so it's all of my long sleeves, light knits, light jackets, my heavier hoodies, crew necks, and sweaters. These are all of my tops, all of my sweats, graphic tees, and workout clothes. This is a clothing rack. I typically steam my clothes for the week every Sunday. The rest of my shoes, a few more bags, and then some hats. I actually blindly chose 15 items from 4 categories in my closet, which were bottoms, tops, dresses, and outerwear. And here's what I found out. Out of the 60 total items in my data set, exactly half would be worn more than 30 times within 1 calendar year. 8 out of those 60 total items were gifted to me by brands in exchange for making social media content, and 63% of those gifted items also passed the 30-wear test in 1 year. It was really amazing to see a quantitative view of how much shifting my perspective from shopping for only trendy items to now more versatile and timeless items has really increased the frequency that I wear my clothes. This is especially important in helping me decide which partnerships to accept versus decline so that I'm not getting clothes that I only wear for 1 video and then letting them go to waste. I wanted to use the oldest article of clothing in the dataset as a reference point, which is this airy hand-me-down sweater that I got from my sister in 2016. If I were to keep everything in the dataset for the next 8 years, all but 1 item would pass the 30-wear test with flying colors. And that 1 item is this pink sundress from Theory that I thrifted. But there was a silver lining in the fact that this dress was thrifted because it's a part of the 12 out of the total 60 items that were secondhand in my data set. So even though I definitely need to fix my habit of shopping by occasion in this category, it's better for the environment that I'm buying secondhand rather than purchasing something new that I'm not going to wear very often. Speaking of environment, let's change ours up for a second. I typically do laundry on Fridays, and 8 out of the 60 total items in my data set are washed once a week. Otherwise, more than 40% of the items in the data set are washed half or less than half as much as they're worn, which is really good for energy and water conservation. It's also interesting to note that only 23% of the total 60 items in my dataset came from online transactions, which really helps cut down on that unnecessary plastic packaging. However, it would be remiss of me not to mention that almost 40% of the total items in my dataset are made from polyester. And not only is that a fiber that's made from petroleum, but it also sheds microplastics into our water systems. But I'm hoping that in my post-grad lifestyle, when I have more disposable income, I can really take the next step up and focus more on the materials and investing in things that are organic. Although there's definitely still room for improvement and investment in more sustainable brands, if 21-year-old Kassydi were to sit down with 12-year-old Kassydi right now and tell her that every single article of clothing that she owns fits in her college apartment, she would be shocked, and that's a really good thing.